I'm Anastasia and I will try to sell physical AI wall art for 30 days. I will show you all the steps of starting a print-on-demand shop, from generating images to having them printed and making sales. This Etsy shop makes over $79,000 per month, selling mostly framed wall art and canvas print. These products don't even exist until someone orders them. Since the shop opened about 4 years ago, they made an estimate of $3.6 million in revenue. And there are dozens of other shops just like this. But how realistic is this for an average person? Let's see how much money I can make with my prints. So on day one, I tried and tested lots of AI image generators, including Midjourney, Leonardo AI, and I found the most affordable and the easiest for beginners is the Picasso AI tool on Freepik, which I also use for stock images and videos. I recommend you to start with a reference image and choose style as the main reference, instead of a text prompt, if you want to get images similar to something that's trending on Etsy. So I will just upload an image of this frog in Matsumoto Hoji style, and additionally I will explain in the text prompt what I need to generate. A green duck, solo, meaning that I don't want a lot of other objects on the image, simple minimalist design, Matsumoto Hoji art style. You can control here how much the style reference should play a role. I will move it above the medium. I will keep this classic fast model setting, click create, and you can see how this tool generates new images in real time. I can scroll down and make even more images. The speed of this AI generator is just crazy. If you used other tools, you probably have seen they cannot make that many images that fast. Now I can pick one of the ducks that I like the most and just look at it. I can export it from here in a pretty decent HD quality. Now, I don't know about you, but I like that duck. But making sales is not about what I like. I need to find some styles that get a lot of sales on Etsy. It's a marketplace that is focused on arts, custom and unique gifts, and I just need to decide what to sell. I cannot just generate random images. I need to do some research first to know which wall art products people are looking for on Etsy. I started by typing in wall art on Etsy and looking at the search box suggestions. This gave me some ideas, and you can see here are the search volume numbers next to each keyword. These come from an Etsy keyword research tool called Sales Samurai that shows search volume for keywords and the level of competition for them. To try this tool, check the link in the description below. I found the following niches are popular: vintage, abstract, and botanical. And I will intentionally try to get into 3 different niches to see if I get traction in one of them. It's all about trying and testing what works. A lot of product listings on Etsy are digital art prints, which are meant for people who want to save some money. They buy an image or a PDF, then download it and print it locally. But this is not my business model. Today, I'm building a print-on-demand store. So we're looking for customers who are willing to pay a bit extra for the convenience. They want to have the design printed and delivered to their doorstep. Also, buyers are ready to pay more for physical products compared to digital files, which means higher potential earnings for my store. The best part about this business is that the products are only created the moment someone buys them. I just need to connect my Etsy store with a print-on-demand supplier, and I will use today Printify. Then I will upload the products and all I have to do is just sit back and collect the earnings. Printify will handle the printing and shipping for me. First, I created a new Gmail account, maybe something that vibes with my business name. This will keep things neat when I open other related accounts. Trust me, it was a lifesaver. This way you're not mixing business with your personal stuff. Then I created an Etsy store, and if you don't have one yet, use the link in the description below to start your new Etsy shop with 40 free listings. Just click Open a Shop today. Use that shiny new business email that you made to sign up. Alright, next I used the same email to create a free account on Printify. They have an Etsy-approved integration and a global reach. Printify is a user-friendly software, so it should be easy for you to get started, and I'm happy to thank Printify for sponsoring this part of the video. Plus, I found that they offer a variety of wall art products to print on, including canvas, with or without frames, as well as posters, vertical, horizontal, framed, satin, textured watercolor posters, you name it. I will be selling both framed and unframed paper posters. If they buy the unframed option, the buyers will receive just a poster rolled like this, and they can purchase the frame locally. As for the framed posters, they are available in 7 different sizes and with 3 frame colors: black, white, and walnut. There is a link in the description below for you to start a free Printify account. Once you're in, connect your shop, and you just need to find Etsy logo here, and then make sure that you're logged in to your Etsy account, and then grant access to Printify. This syncs everything up, making life super easy later on. By the way, if you don't want to sell on Etsy, Printify has integrations with other e-commerce platforms, including Shopify, TikTok Shop, WooCommerce, and even Amazon. So, day 2, today I will be listing my products on Etsy, and it should be easy. I uploaded my AI images to Printify, but wait, I don't like this warning that my image resolution is medium. We need the best possible resolution for printing on a canvas. The problem with AI image generators is that the images come out of them in low resolution. Usually they are around 800 pixels. I exported HD quality images from FreePic, but even that isn't always enough for the larger sized art prints. I found this free AI image upscaler called Krea. It can upscale images up to 8 times the original resolution. When you make the settings here, make sure that you set the AI strength quite low, otherwise your image will not be just upscaled, but it will also change quite a lot from the original. You can slide and compare the images before and after. It might be hard to see the difference on a screen, but trust me, it would be very noticeable on a printed poster. Here is my image upscaled, and now Printify shows it in high resolution. So the next step is to list it as a draft on Etsy. It is very easy to do it through Printify because here I can select the frame sizes that match my design, and in this case I will need to adjust the image a bit for 2 of the poster sizes. You see, the Printify product description already has a ton of details as well as mockups. I will just need to add a bit more keywords specifically for this product at the start of the description. Of course, I will have to price each size of the canvas differently, and this calculator helps a lot. Printify's profit calculator even takes into account most of the Etsy fees. I recommend you to also include the shipping cost, because on Etsy, the most successful sellers cover the shipping, and even the platform seems to favor these listings. So yes, free shipping makes your profit margin lower, but it does help you make more sales. By the way, as you're just starting out like I do today, you might want to use the free version of Printify, which you can sign up for using my link in the description below. But with Printify Premium, you can save up to 20% on all products, which will bring your profits even higher. Use coupon Anastasia30 to get 30 days off Printify Premium for free. When setting the price, pay attention to the smallest size of the poster. It has the lowest profit margin, and I also wanted to keep this price relatively low because this price of the smallest size will show up in Etsy search by default. To create a listing that drives you more sales, you need to add a variety of professionally looking mockups. I picked a square mockup for the main picture and the vertical mockups for the rest of them. Ask me why? Because the square mockup will look good on both desktop and on mobile devices as the main product picture. The rest of the vertical images will be perfect for sharing them on Pinterest, as I'm planning to promote my Etsy products on this platform. I also made a video mockup because according to Etsy, less than 28% of all sellers have a video, so this can help my listings stand out. You can find a lot of mockups on Envato Placeit as I did. Placeit offered great video mockups which I couldn't find elsewhere. I also found great mockup features on Freepik, the same tool that I use to generate AI images. These tools have a monthly fee, but it is very affordable, and once you're done working on your listings, you can actually cancel your subscription. As usual, all the links to these tools will be in the description below. Over the next week, I was adding new listings to my Etsy store. I wanted to keep the quality of the listings high, and at the same time, I wanted to do this whole process on my own. I didn't hire a VA or a designer to help me create, publish my products, or to do the keyword research for me. After all, my goal was to challenge myself, and just like most of you guys, I decided to start this store on my own. And honestly, it does take time to design AI art, even though AI does the work. You still have to upscale all the images, then you have to move them into the mockups, upload every mockup, and just so you know, it's up to 10 mockup images per listing that Etsy recommends. With keyword research for the listing titles, descriptions, tags, alt tags, and all the jazz, I ended up with 7 listings for art prints and 1 for a framed art. I didn't make more of the framed art options because I felt like the price for them goes way too high, and I felt like for a new store it would be hard to compete with these prices. Now we just have to see how they perform on Etsy. It's day 7 and I don't like that the listings are barely getting any views. I need to do something about it. You probably noticed that I increased the prices by 20% for all sizes of the listings, and I put these listings on sale with 20% off. This adds information about the sale to the listings and it makes them more visible in search results. Let's see if this helps. Day 12. I've got some news. I received a message on Etsy. Let's open it. Okay, there's a link to my new listing, but also an image that says my store was suspended and I have to provide my email here in the chat. What's going on? Did Etsy really suspend my store? But hold on a second, it doesn't make sense that the message is coming from a potential buyer. I'll stop recording here, guys. I have to first investigate. Okay, so here's what happened while I was away. Without sending them any of my information, I checked Etsy's help center, and they have an entire article about scammers who pretend that they're Etsy officials to steal your data. Looks like all official messages from Etsy should be in its own tab called Etsy. If you're a new seller, it is easy to get confused when you get a message like this that says your account was suspended. So be careful because they intentionally target new sellers who don't know the platform that well yet. Alright, it's day 18, but I still didn't make a single sale. I will show you some of my stats so far. I wasn't getting much traffic from Etsy search, but I guess it is quite common for a new store that has no reviews or history. I've got about 89% of traffic to my listings from other sources like direct traffic and Pinterest traffic. All these traffic sources were free and organic, but I have a limited amount of time before the end of this challenge. So I decided to try running Etsy ads for just $1 per day, spread thin between all the listings in my store. After running the ads for a while, I found it interesting that Etsy spends a lot less than just $1 per day. They don't have any other settings or targeting, so I don't know how I could increase the amount of views and make it spend the full dollar every day. Just didn't figure it out. Let me know in the comments if you know how to work around this. I know this is a very low ad budget, but I'm just testing this here. I don't know if Etsy ads are going to add enough views to help me get more sales, but I will keep running them until the end of the month, and I'll see you on day 30. Day 30. Are you ready to see my results by the end of the challenge? Did I sell anything? I will tell you in a minute. Let me just show you my shopper stats on Etsy. Looks like I've got 4 likes on my listings from users on Etsy, 2 people actually followed my shop, and there is 1 abandoned cart, meaning that someone was really close to buying but didn't go through with the purchase. And about the sales? I did get 1 sale. Now, all the numbers on my Etsy account are shown in euros because I live in Europe, but it gives you an idea of the profits. So first, I will show you my Etsy finances. I made 32.94 euros on the sale, and Etsy took about 4 euros in their fees. It shows that I spent 98 cents on Etsy ads. This brings us to 27.91 euros net revenue on Etsy. I just wanted to mention again something weird about Etsy ads, which I have to understand better in the future. I set them to $1 per day, but they never span even close to this value. I see these 3 transactions of about 25 euro cents each in August, and that's it. I need to increase the ad budget to get more sales in the future. I have an annual subscription to FreePic, which I use to generate AI images, so that wasn't part of my expenses this time. But you can start it as low as $8 a month and even make some of the mock-ups on FreePic as well. So on Etsy, I earned 27.91 euros in net revenue after all Etsy fees, which is around $30.94. But I also had my expenses on Printify to process this order, right? So for Printify printing, I paid $19.06. For shipping, I paid $7.53. And this brings my net income for this challenge to $2.75. Oof. It's not a lot of money, but at least I'm in the green. And I wish the results were more impressive, but this challenge just shows that everything needs time and effort. I had only 30 days for the challenge, and realistically, it is a short time. My store needs to get at least a couple of reviews from the customers. If you think about it, even after making some sales, to get the reviews, customers first need to receive the items, and this again needs time. Reviews are very important. It will add credibility, and other potential buyers, they will trust the store more, which hopefully will get me more sales in the future. If you enjoyed this video, give me a like, subscribe, and check out my other videos about selling on Etsy. It will be linked up there, and I'll see you in the next one.